The ASX-listed company Arizona Lithium, the trading code is AZL, just announced another great news from its 100% owned Big Sandy Lithium project in USA. We're very glad to have the company managing director, Mr. Paul Lloyd, to discuss about this further with us. Hi, Paul. Very happy to meet you again.
Hello, Steph. Great to see you again.
The company just announced the commencement of a scoping study at its Big Sandy Lithium project, which will be conducted by the Austin Coal Engineering in the USA. So what does this mean to the company and the project?
Today's announcement is a very exciting announcement for our US-based technical team, because it shows that we have done enough work on the project, heading down the development highway, to be able to appoint an engineering firm like Ausenco, and that they have the information to be able to put a scoping study together over the next 4 months. And that information basically is the drill out of the project. Even though we've only drilled 4% of our land holding, we came up with a maiden dual compliant resource of 320,000 tonnes of LCE. We have done a lot of work with Hazen on the processing, resulting in the development of a flow sheet. And basically we can then provide all that information to the engineers, work with the engineering firm to come up with a scoping. They will look at transport opportunities, etc., and they'll report back to us with a financial model of where this project would, or how this project will look when we take the project into production.
So how long do you think the study would take, and what objectives are expected to be achieved?
We're very well organised with the Big Sandy project, and we're all very motivated to take the project into production as soon as possible. So we are expecting the engineers to complete the work within 4 months, and I believe that will happen because we have all the data for them to review.
So meanwhile, the company also mentioned that the test work by the Hazen Research will continue concurrently. So what is the goal for the following test work, and will the improved result be helpful to the scoping study as well, and how will they affect each other?
Yes, I think the additional process testing we'll be doing will improve the scoping study. And what we're trying to do there with that additional test work is to optimise the flow sheet that we have developed. And part of that optimisation will be the construction of a research facility in West Phoenix, and the company will own that plant, and we'll be processing some of the bulk sample that we'll be taking from the Big Sandy project, which is 2.5 hours north of Phoenix, and we'll be processing that and just tweaking the processing just a little bit to see which is the best way of producing the lithium, so that you have higher recoveries and lower costs.
So let's have some recap of the Big Sandy project. What are the current land and claim scale and the resource level? Also its advantages, like environmentally or technically?
Yes. So the land, Steph, is owned by the Bureau of Land Management. It's a federal agency in the US, and we have 311 claims out at the Big Sandy project. We have drilled only a small portion of 4% and come up with the maiden resource of 320,000 tonnes of LCE. We've done a lot more work on other areas, north and south of the existing resource, and that's what we're looking for on the recent BLM application for additional drilling. We have looked at various transport routes in regards to taking the material off-site and either transporting it to the rail line or down to Phoenix. And we've done a lot of the scoping work previously, which is in this case of appointing Ausenco, we're using an independent engineering firm. So that will be very interesting when we report those results in 4 months' time.
Right. And regarding to the offtake agreements, like have been mentioned in the previous announcements, how are the things going?
I think that the offtakes will become more significant when we're talking to various companies when we have our research facility constructed, because we will produce larger quantities of LCE. And then I think we'll get further traction in the marketplace. And that's not too far away. I'm hoping to start construction within the first quarter of this year on the research facility.
Is there any updates regarding to the permitting from the BLM?
Yes, we've had some really interesting discussions with the Bureau of Land Management, and I'm still confident and expect to have approvals to do 145 additional exploration holes and take a bulk sample within the first quarter of 2022. They are working with us. They want us to go out there and drill the ground further, and we're getting a lot of encouragement from the Arizona government, state government, the federal government, because basically the US doesn't have a lot of lithium production and the EV revolution is only getting stronger.
Is there anything you would like to comment?
I'd just like to tell our loyal shareholders that we are working very hard to develop the project and get it into production as soon as possible. The team over in the US are working very well, and we have some very exciting announcements to come out over the next 3 to 6 months. So we're very excited about the Big Sandy project and the lithium industry. As we discussed before we started the interview, Steph, that the commodity price for lithium has increased significantly, and right at this moment it doesn't look like it's coming back. So any lithium producer in the US that has government incentives and encouragement will have significant returns on the mining operations.
Yeah, we'll definitely trust that.
Yes.
Again, thank you, Paul, for updating and sharing this with us. We're all very looking forward to seeing the initial study results and more upcoming good news.
Thanks, Steph.
Thank you.